What's up? It's Tom. Happy Friday. Let's get into the Twin System recap for April 10th. A bunch of action going on with a doubleheader. Saints won. Windsurge lost, got shut out. Kernels won both of their games in the doubleheader. I think the Mighty Mussels recently did that too. That's tough to do. And speaking of the Mighty Mussels, they also won a 2-0 game. They've won a few of these. It's been really hard for them to get offense, especially consistently through their lineup, but they're still pulling out some wins. Credit to that pitching staff. The Twins lost 10-4 after building a 4-0 lead in Toronto. Ouch. And Royce Lewis and Cody Lawyerson are both headed to the injured list. So it'll be curious to see who comes up in their place. But, obviously you hear Royce Lewis and knee, it never feels good. Emmanuel Rodriguez did return to the Saints, went 1 for 3 with a walk and 2 strikeouts, so he is back from that illness. 3 stars of the day. Third star, Jacob McCombs for Cedar Rapids. He had a go-ahead bases-clearing triple in Game 2 in the final inning, the 7th inning. They do 7-inning doubleheaders in the minors. Cedar Rapids trailed 6-5 coming into that final frame, and yeah, he shot the gap. Left-handed hitter hit one into the power alley, but it was just sort of one of those ones that just took ages to dribble to the wall, just perfectly placed in between the center fielder and the right fielder. And cleared the bases, put the Kernels up, got a triple out of it. He also later scored in the inning as well. 2025 7th-round pick, only 21 years old, Jacob McCombs. So he's it's not like crazy to say that he's all the way up in high A, but this is a little bit more aggressively than the Twins have had a lot of their guys. And again, 21, so it's not like he was old for his draft class either. So there's something here. That's an indication of the Twins like this guy, and he's off to a great start. He's got a 1081 OPS. So Jacob McCombs is a guy to keep an eye out for. Second star, Dameury Pena for Fort Myers. Again, that 2-0 win, and he went 4 for 4 with his 3rd stolen base of the year and scored a run. This is a guy who a couple years ago in the Dominican Summer League kind of started to draw some Luis Arias comparisons, which of course is so unfair for a teenager. But you can think of him in that mold. He's hitting .538 on the season and has not struck out in 20 plate appearances. So he's a fun guy to watch. Struggled in his first exposure to Fort Myers last year, but he's still only 20 years old. So still a really fun player for Hit Night. And the first star, again, in that 2-0 win, Quentin Young was 3 for 4 with a double, a stolen base, and an RBI. Played a nice insurance run late when the Mussels only had a 1-0 lead. Stole his first career stolen base as a pro. It played shortstop too. It's been rough for him in the field, not gonna lie, but he made some good plays. One of my sayings is there's never no such thing as a routine double play in the minors, especially in low A. And he was involved in a couple of them. Nothing spectacular, but looked a lot more sure-handed there. So those are the stars of the day. Honorable mentions: Danny Day, Andrade, Kadeem Jow, Caden Kendall, all from that doubleheader. But Riley Quick is the headline of the day. Riley Quick making his pro debut. 2 shutout innings, no hits, no walks, 5 strikeouts, 10 swinging strikes in 2 innings. His changeup in particular was looking really sharp, but he also topped out at 97.8 miles per hour. So Riley Quick, very impressive debut. Obviously only, pitching this late into the Fort Myers schedule and then only going 2 innings. I don't know this for a fact, but I'm assuming he's a little bit behind, because I think if he wasn't, he would have started opening day for them. I think if he wasn't, we would have seen him in that spring breakout game, which he didn't pitch there. I didn't see anything to indicate he's behind, but I'm just sort of reading through what we can see, and that's my guess. Again, he only threw 33 pitches, so it's not like pitch count was getting up there in those 2 innings. Obviously, this was just a predetermined plan. He was going to go out and throw 2 frames, essentially, and looked about as good as you can look in those 2 innings, but was still tough to put him among the stars of the day. But really exciting debut. Then Alejandro Hidalgo one-upped him. Said, two clean innings with 5 strikeouts. That's great. I'll do you one better. Struck out every batter he faced. He was acquired from the Angels in the Gio Urshela trade back then. Still a really young guy. And yeah, 2 innings, 6 strikeouts. Struck out every guy he faced tonight. Kind of something to keep an eye on, especially in a organization to where anybody converting to the bullpen is going to have a lot more intrigue than most of the other times in the minors. Anyway, star scoreboard. Not a ton of changes near the top. Quentin Young does kind of crack into the top 10, but that's about the only change we have there. But, you know, my disappointment beyond Riley Quick, disappointing day. There was a bunch of other top prospect arms, Connor Prelup, Dason Hill, Adrian Bojorquez, who all went today. So it was a huge day for pitching prospects and mostly disappointing. You know, Connor Prelup can't get out of the 4th inning, 58% strikes, walks 3 guys. Dason Hill walks 4 guys, and he's below 60% strikes. Adrian Bojorquez walks 4 guys in 2 innings. He's at 55% strikes. So that, you know, Prelup with the 5 strikeouts, you know, Dason Hill 4 strikeouts in 3 innings, Bojorquez 4 strikeouts in 2 innings, great. But, you know, these performances are not what we want to see from top pitching prospects. We want to see those guys do well. And it's not like, you know, these are huge red flags that they have a bad outing, but we can pick them apart a little bit and just kind of come away with the day feeling a little down about that trio. But Walker Jenkins, 1 for 3 with 2 walks and a stolen base, scored a run, so he reached safely 3 times for the Saints. Kalen Culpepper had a 2-hit day. Marco Raya picked up a save, gave up an unearned run, gave up a triple to Max Clark, which turned into a Little League home run on an error. Merrick Houston was on that doubleheader, 2 for 6 with a walk, a stolen base, 2 runs scored, an RBI in that doubleheader, so he played well for the Kernels today. Thanks for checking this one out. Over on Limestone Pipeline, if you remember, Ryan Gallagher had a great start this week. It was Wednesday. Every pitch of that outing you can see on there, in addition to some other highlights, so check that out. Thanks for being here. We'll talk again tomorrow.